So continuing with our product data management for productivity and regulatory compliance, we've been looking at an electronic workflow where we established a workflow that initiated a design, submitted for approval, and then finally passed approval. We've created that workflow and now we want to test it. The general procedure for testing a new SOLIDWORKS Enterprise PDM workflow is to start with opening your vault. Then you'll either need to create a new document or documents, or you can import existing ones, but make sure to choose the one that matches the category you selected. In our case, we selected medical device parts, and those are the ones that we're going to have to use, so those will be these 3 SOLIDWORKS parts that we'll just drag and drop into the vault to test it. You need to check in the documents and then notice the state. They should end up in that initial state that we defined in our workflow as soon as you do the check-in. If not, then you have an issue and you'll have to go back to the administration tool and work it out. If you're in the right state at first, then you can go ahead and change the state and try and make it go through the transition. The first one might be Submit for Approval. Then notice the state and repeat the process for all states until you get to the end of your workflow. Let's see what that looks like in the vault. To test out your new workflow, you want to open your vault. I've already done that with a vault called Test, and then you're either going to create new documents or import from existing ones. In this case, we've got a folder called Medical Device B47 for our B47 project. What we're going to do is take 3 existing files, which are designed and on our hard drive, and we'll just copy them right into this vault. As we copy them in, you can see that they don't have a state or category. They're automatically checked out because they're SOLIDWORKS part files. If you click on one, you can see the preview down here below. So we have 3 valid SOLIDWORKS part files. What we're going to do is select all 3 of these files and we'll check them in. We'll hit the check-in button, and now you can see that the state is changed to Initiate Design, and the category is Medical Device Designs, which is what we expected. To test the next part of the approval process, select one of the files, right-click, and select Change State. You should see the Submit for Approval transition that we put into our workflow design. Here, you can say we're submitting for approval and select OK. That should change the state to the next state that we put in our workflow, which is waiting for approval. Again, to change the state, you select Change State, and in this case you have 2 choices, Approved or Back to the Drawing Board. In this case, we'll select Approved. And finally, OK. Now notice we didn't restrict the rights on this particular workflow so that only certain people can get into these signatures. And that would be a